my name is Project Ekstrom. I'm here to talk about the environmental impacts of fracking. Fracking, or hydraulic fracturing, is the act of drilling down into the bedrock to break up shale formations to get natural gas. Vertical well bores drilled all the way through the rock, including through the water table or aquifer. From there, the well bores turn to become horizontal, allowing us to drill along the shale formations to gather more natural gas. From there, the rock itself is fractured using charges and kept open using a high-pressure mix of water and other additives. Now, the safety issues are alarming. The danger to water contamination itself is large. If the caissons used to protect the water table or aquifer are not properly maintained or of inferior quality, the natural gas itself can become mixed with the water supply, resulting in the ability to light your own tap water on fire. Additionally, the slurry used with water and other additives is a proprietary mix based from each company. Now, this makes it very difficult to tell exactly what company contaminated a water supply based on the additives themselves. Due to their proprietary nature, they're kept a secret, which has caused quite a lot of strife in the neighboring communities to fracking operations. Now, this water that's used has to be used in tremendous amounts, and what's done with it has been an alarming issue as well. The wastewater, you would think, would be dealt with in purification systems, or could be recycled on site using other minor purification systems so it can be reused. This, however, is not the case, an alarming percentage at the time. The water filtration plants that are capable of dealing with the sort of load that are caused by fracking operations are few and far between, and very few of them actually exist. Even less common is a fracking operation that is able to recycle its own water due to on-site purification centers. More commonly, the water is trucked to a place like Ohio, which has many wastewater injection wells. These very deep vertical wells are where a new hole is drilled all the way down to the bedrock, and a high-pressure water and additives are pumped down for long-term storage. Now, having this copious amount of tainted water all the way below the surface is alarming to many, with very good reason. The further contamination and long-term harm this could do is incalculable and unknown. However, the more pressing issue currently are the earthquakes. There are earthquakes that have been associated with fracking operations when the high-pressure liquid used to keep the fractured shale open meet up with pre-existing fault lines. When this occurs, a small earthquake can occur. More alarmingly, though, is when a deep water injection well meets up with the same kind of fault line. Here, you end up with a much larger, more severe earthquake, which is why more of these occur in Ohio than in Pennsylvania, where the fracking operations are more prevalent in the deep water injection wells. More long-term, however, we have to deal with the containment and decommissioning of the wells themselves. And this is done through long lists of regulations and rules, including having 15-foot concrete castings stuck into the wellhead at different locations, including the top and bottom of the aquifer, to help preserve the aquifer. Now, these aren't enough, because the empty space in between these concrete casings must actually be filled with very high-pressure water or mud slurries that have been pre-approved. This is due to the fact that if the hydrodynamic pressure is not maintained, very deadly toxins and contamination could seep back into the wellhead due to the high pressure surrounding rock. In theory, all of this can be done safely, but it's the stories when it doesn't happen safely that occur on the news. It's rather difficult to tell, especially long-term, whether or not this will be a sustainable operation, especially considering the dubious nature in which some of these wells are decommissioned, due to the fact that they can be shut in for a certain period of time and not fully decommissioned due to the speculation that they will be able to be reused or remined or refracked. So, long-term, it could be a very scary prospect having many of these shafts not properly maintained or use inferior quality materials. These issues could very well be moot in the near future, seeing as we do need the Marcellus shale natural gas. Eventually, even if these environmental issues are not cleared up, it's quite possible that we'll have to continue fracking or fracking in larger amounts anyway, due to America's need to have this natural gas at whatever cost. Thank you very much for your time.